So in this quick video, you've come here because you're deciding whether you need yet another bag. Considerations: should you buy a bag? Do you need another bag? Should you buy it because it's in the sale? I often have this question. So there are several things that you need to think of before buying a bag. First one is, can you afford it? Bags are quite expensive. Are you buying it second-hand or new? What condition is it in? So if it's in your budget, then tick, go ahead and think of the next question. How heavy, how practical, and what kind of leather is it? So first of all, is it heavy? You do not want a heavy bag. So you may need a big bag, so make sure it's light. Possibly if you're buying a tote, go for a coated canvas or a nylon bag. So if you're taking it into a city, make sure it's got a zip top on it. Make sure that it can be washed, either put in the washing machine or perhaps you can wipe it down when you get home. If you've never done it, take a baby wipe to a nylon bag or a coated canvas bag and see what dirt comes off. How heavy is the bag? Does it have outside pockets? Does it have inside pockets? Is the colour of the lining inside light or dark? Do you think you're going to make the inside mucky so a dark one is good, or you want to be able to see your things and you keep things in pouches so a light lining is even better? How fashionable? So think about it in a year, 2 years' time. Are you still going to love the bag? Don't buy it because it's cheap. Buy it because you love it. Pocket down the back or the front for your phone. Do you like a nice slip pocket? Perhaps you need D-rings or clips to dangle your bank charms. Perhaps you need adjustability on the shoulder strap. Have a think about the practicality. If it's leather, can you take it out in the rain? Yes, I know. Bizarre question, but I did have a pair of shoes once that I took out in the rain and they said don't. It ruined the pair of shoes. Not fit for purpose. So think about the leather. Does it need treating? Some leathers need treating every 3 to 6 months or once a year, depending on your climate, where you are in the world, how you're keeping it, if it gets dusty, if it's getting dirty. So every bag you have is going to need maintenance. It's going to need space. So if you're renting a flat, every square foot of flat that you have is going to cost you each month. How much space are your bags taking up and how much are they costing you to store those bags? Another consideration, do you have to buy products to put on the bags? And are they going to wear well? In a year, 2 years, 3 years, if you paid a lot of money for a bag, you still want to be using it in 5 years. Well, I know I do. I know Coach, when you buy a Coach bag, you take it back into a Coach shop for free, as often as you like, and they will polish and feed your bag for you. Do I want crack glazing? No. Am I going to pay £1,000 for a bag, even if it's second hand, and 5 years down the line have crack glazing and have to pay £200 to get that fixed? No, not practical, not a good choice. Even if it is the latest bag, it'll soon go out of fashion. Which brings me on to another point, fashion. If you've ever thought about it, and you wonder if your bag's going to be fashionable in 5 years, buy a classic. There are classic shapes and designs out there that will never go out of fashion. However, if you go onto eBay and you look up any designer, Jimmy Choo, Prada, Miu Miu, and you look at the bags, and you go back 5, 10, 15-year-old bags, you'll see that they're not so fashionable. It bags. Chloe Paddington, who wants to lug around a bag with a massive padlock on? I don't know, well I don't. Think about your shoulders. I once had a Mulberry bag. I had it for a week and then resold it. It was second hand, I sold it on. Because I needed physio, the bag was so heavy and I didn't have anything in it. So think about the weight and the practicality of the bags. Have a think about the manufacturing process. So what about consideration of the air miles to get it to you? A lot of the Coach bags I've tried over the last couple of days have come from Cambodia, Philippines. I don't know if they're assembled in the US. The leather comes from the US out to the Philippines and back again. Don't know. I know the bags that I bought over the last few days have to go back to the Netherlands. Luckily, DHL, DPD do zero carbon which is lovely. They offset the carbon dioxide on the flight or the train somehow. I don't know how it works. Animal welfare. I would never try an exotic skinned bag. I do know that the leather and the exotic skins that Coach uses apparently go into the food chain, so perhaps that's okay. So style, practicality, how you're going to feel about the bag in a year's time, 2 years, 5 years' time. If you're buying a second-hand bag, you might have it with the intention of keeping for a year and then selling on. You might buy new bags and do that, which is great. Think about your style, think about the clothes that you wear all the time and how your bag is going to fit. Will you love the bag in a year's time? All important questions. One thing that I heard on a YouTube video about 18 months ago, which really resonated with me, was you can look at bags, which is how this channel came to be about. You can look at the bags on YouTube, you can admire the bags, you can go into a shop and look at the bags, you can't touch them anymore, but you can look at the bags and you can think, wow, that is a really nice bag, but you don't actually need to own it. You know, admire the bags and then be happy with the bags that you own. Go through your bags, give them a polish, love them a bit, use them. If you haven't used them for a long time, use them, see how you feel about it. If you still love that bag, keep it. If not, move it on. Make some space in your wardrobe in your life for other things. So I hope this helps. Before you buy a bag, you know, all these considerations: practicality, style, space, time, effort, resource, world resource, time in your life. So think about the practicality, the style. If you've already got a similar one that could do the same job, how you'll feel in a year's time. Do you have the space? Is it ethically produced? Do you have the budget? All of these considerations, including do you have the time to look after it, buy it and store it. All these considerations, make a list, think about it, and never buy a bag on the day that you see it. So I hope this video helps you decide, do you need another bag? Only you can answer that question. But think about all the different costs to you of the bags. But if you love bags, then buy one. If you've got the budget, the space, the time, and you're not worried. But please take everything and the environment into consideration. Thank you, and thank you very much for watching.